With that, we'll jump right in. Did everybody get a chance to review the minutes?
You may want to, just for shits and giggles, is take attendance.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. All right. Bob DeToma.
Here.
Sean McAfee.
Here.
Justin Souza.
Here.
Jim Gallagher.
Jim Gallagher here.
Lucas Rumlard.
Here.
Ed. I'm gonna have to learn his last name. Pakalek. Ed was not here. And Justin Stone, I am here, but I am late.
One demerit.
One demerit. Yep. Good thing I've got a lot. Jim, thanks for reminding me about attendance.
Yes, sir. Can I make a motion to accept the minutes as presented by Sean?
Can I get a second?
Second.
All right. Minutes are approved from last meeting. VSO notes. Justin, do you have anything?
Yep, I'm waiting on a response from Evan about the mailing, getting some money for it. We have some in the budget, but again, I've tried to line up also some help stuffing envelopes, and I think I got that. So I just need to print them and get them sent. So I'll be working on that this week.
Perfect.
Because that letter that you sent is still the one you want to send out, right?
Yeah, unless anybody
Okay.
has anything that they want to change or add or. Okay. Yeah, so
Also-
that's the letter.
Also, I met with the VFW American Legion. We had a Memorial Day planning meeting.
Okay.
And they asked if they're going to be able to ask you guys for help publicizing it, like getting the word out there.
Yeah.
That's what they'll need. They also asked if there's any chance you could help with getting volunteers to put out flags on the veterans' graves. They're doing that on May 21st, the weekend before Memorial Day, I believe.
Yeah,
No,
that
that
should
might
be
be 2 weeks before.
Didn't,
Where do they meet?
I'm not 100% sure where they meet, but I know that the American Legion does the north part of town, which I think is Pine Grove. I can't remember the name of the cemetery up in the northern part of town on Route 30. And then the VFW does south part of town. I believe that's Fairview. And then there's a couple other cemeteries that they go to. But I can get you details. I'll try to get those out tomorrow when I'm in Grafton via email.
weren't the Boy Scouts asking somebody to volunteer? Lucas, okay.
I know one of the Boy Scouts dads that he knew I was on the committee, so he was asking like, are they going to be doing something like a parade or putting flags out and whatnot?
So they are planning a parade too.
Yeah.
They're planning on going from Norcross Park, which is I believe called Little Fenway on North Street, down to the center, the Grafton Common, and then having a ceremony there where they read the names of the fallen. And I believe they're going to try to get some military vehicles staged there or at the high school. I'm not sure. But they're going to be publicizing that once they get approved by the town board of selectmen and the chief of police. And so if the Boy Scouts want to march in that too, I'm sure they'd be welcome. The point of contact for that's probably going to be Carmen Paglioni, the American Legion commander.
Lucas, do you want to be our POC to coordinate with the Boy Scouts? And do you know somebody with the Girl Scouts as well?
My daughter's in the Girl Scouts, so I could probably get a contact for them to walk in the parade as well.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of different packs in the town too. So if Lucas, if you could try to make sure you get all of them, if you need any help figuring out who's where,
Yeah.
I can try to help with that.
Perfect. Anything else, Justin?
No, I think that was think that was everything. The mailing and the Legion. That's no, there was one more thing. They wanted, I'll remember it in a minute. I'm gonna pass for a minute, but I will remember it.
Hey, Stoney, before you go to the next item, maybe Lucas, while he's lining them up for May 21st, maybe he can also let them know what we end up with yours and Bob's parade.
I'll go ahead and jump to that. So I want to let everybody know that I know I sent you all out individual emails on this, but then when Bob and I met with the select board a couple of weeks ago, they had it down as being a Veterans Advisory Committee 4th of July parade, and that was not the intent. This is Bob and I as citizens of Grafton approaching this. So that's why I put it on the agenda for this. With that said, if people want to volunteer independently of the committee, then I'm good with that. Just let us know. For right now, I'm not trying to do the committee thing. As Bob and I figure out more details, then we may end up asking if the committee wants to put this on. But right now, there's just a lot of details and stuff like that we don't have. So we got to get further along in planning to find out if this is actually something that's gonna take off. But once we get more of that, then Bob and I will talk about pushing it out to the committee, and we'll do an official vote and everything like that. Justin, do you think about what you were going to say?
Yeah, I think it was regarding the American Legion Square, which is that area with the flag at the intersection of, I think, of 122 and 140, just past the high school, that set of lights.
Mm-hmm.
They are curious about, or the American Legion is curious about trying to get a memorial built there of some sort eventually. So they made that known to me, and I'm communicating that to you guys. They also, I think, are going to maybe invite a representative from this committee to their next parade planning meeting. I don't know if you've had any communications with them, Sony.
No, unfortunately, I have been swamped with work.
Okay.
So I have not, but I did get your text. I have their contact information,
Okay.
and I plan on making a crap ton of phone calls tomorrow.
Okay, cool. I was just curious. Then they also mentioned they were curious about starting up like a veteran-centered television program, Bob, where they might highlight a specific veteran, maybe once a week or once a month or something like that. I'm not exactly sure on their details, but they have a picture of 3 veterans in the post, Delisle, Goulet, and one other gentleman. I can't remember the other gentleman's name, but the 2 guys that the American Legion Post is named after. And they were thinking of starting with those 3 and then highlighting other veterans in town that have passed or that are still alive. I'm not exactly sure, but they want to try and start doing more with the social media or media in general to start highlighting veterans better. And I'm not sure exactly what type of planning they have for that yet. They've mentioned, but Carmen's mentioned it a couple times to me in passing and once to me in a meeting. So I think that's something that this committee could help with greatly.
Justin, before you move off the memorial thing there, when you speak with them again, you may want to let them know that this may be something that they may want to approach the Community Preservation Committee about.
Okay.
All right, because there are funds that are available for like historical, and this would come under historical.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And I, when it comes down where the metal meets the road, I'll be glad to work with them, but they would have to have whoever there would be the one that would be actually running it as far as making the pitch to the CPC and so forth. But I'll be glad to work with them on it.
Okay. What is the preservation committee made up of?
Community
Who is?
Preservation Committee, there are 9 members, and
Okay.
from the taxes, there's a CPA deduction, or when you pay your taxes, and it goes into this fund. The CPC, the committee, entertains requests on the 4 elements, which are affordable housing, historical preservation, open land, and recreation. So under historical, this could fall under there, and there are funds available. So if they want to look into what they want and do some work as far as like pricing out what would be needed and things like that, I think we could probably help them out.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I made a note of that. I'll make sure I communicate that.
Jim, where would the Soldiers and Sailors Committee fall into this as well?
I mean, the soldiers and sailors, from my understanding, is that I believe their charge is to maintain. I'm not sure if their charge was ever to build. But in any case, I don't think that this is something that they could take on anyway, just given their past availability and so forth.
Right.
But this is something that that I'd be glad to work with Goulet Post on.
Well, I'm thinking we might be able to, go ahead, Sean.
If this is coming from the Legion and the Post, we have to assume that the Soldiers and Sailors members are behind it already or aware of it. And if and when it comes to pass, maybe they sign on as supporting it, or maybe they could be the ones like co-sponsoring if it's whatever goes before town meeting.
Justin?
I can tell you that they have not met in probably 2 or 3 years, so they have most likely no idea as a body about anything that has gone on concerning memorials in that time frame. And they may not be meeting soon because of the nature of the membership. It's kind of up in the air. So we've talked with I don't know. I forget exactly what Evan had said. Evan Brassard, but he's aware of this, and they've sought legal counsel from the town council, the town's legal counsel, and I forget exactly what the word was, but I'll try to circle back with that and update this committee on that by email before the next meeting. Yeah, I'm sorry, it escapes me what he said.
No, that's fine. I was actually going to suggest that we could use this as another launching point with getting a way forward with that committee. But if Evan's already, I'm assuming, Bob, after our last conversation, or after our first conversation with Evan on this, it sounds like maybe he started moving forward with some of the ideas that we suggested. So what I would hate to see is this memorial get put up, and then because that committee isn't stood up, no one's maintains it, and we're kind of stuck in this boat where all of a sudden it just falls apart. I don't know who's maintaining things right now.
In the absence of that committee, I've made sure that the monuments were recently cleaned. I think about a year ago. Nope, sorry, 2 years ago. The memorials in town were all cleaned except for the Civil War Memorial, which is very tall and will require scaffolding to clean. So I haven't, but we got a guy to do it. He works for a memorial company, and he does cleaning on the side, and he cleaned all the memorials for $1,000. And he said it'd probably be that, maybe 2 for the Civil War Memorial, depending on how intensive it is, but because he has to get the scaffolding. So I had left that with the trustees, and then COVID happened and they hadn't met, and they haven't met. So in the event that there's a memorial in town that you are made aware of that needs to be maintained or cleaned in any way, In the absence of the trustees, I'll take that on. So just let me know, okay?
It's not your job though. And that's what gets me is, you've got a lot on your plate already that
No, but if there's no one else to do it.
I know. Yeah. So that's why I want to get that committee thing sorted out. And if it gets absorbed by us, then
Hey, you guys need to stop yelling. Come on. I know you're trying. It's girls.
sorry, Justin, we weren't yelling at you.
Oh, I keep muting my microphone, but you guys can hear me.
You're not
Okay.
good at it, Justin, but I think you should offer them something as a trade.
I'm sorry.
Or don't you,
Well,
Thor?
they're just. Oh, that's why it's on my webcam.
Go. Now, can you hear me?
We all have kids. I think we're all used to it. Bothering us.
As a matter of fact, when that happened, all of us started laughing. So
Yeah, I know. I saw your smiles as I came back. So now if you can see me, I'm rosy cheeked, but luckily my camera's not working. So yeah. All right. Sorry about that, guys.
No, you're fine.
Any viewers who view this.
So I want to make sure that you don't have more on your plate than what you should. So that's why we were stood up. That's how I look at it. It's why we were stood up, was to help you out. So we'll continue to do that. Sean, do you have something?
If we can go back to the conversation about the Memorial Day Parade, did they say, well, I'll back up. The route that you mentioned from the times I've been there is the standard route. They start at Norcross Park, stop at Center, go down Bruce Street, or whatever it is.
They're going to stop right at the town center. They're not going down the road to the high school.
Okay. All right. So I have to assume they're doing that because as we talked about before, a lot of guys just can't make that trek.
Correct.
I was kind of brainstorming a little bit, and a couple of things. If the town has any portable bleachers, could they possibly shift them from, say, an athletic field to maybe the high school in the event that they want to do the typical flag raising and whatever ceremony, speeches and all that at the high school, having bleachers there where other people or older people can go and have a seat front and center. Another thought that I had on, shall we say, if they do decide to change the parade completely, would be to do something like a parade ground review, whereas we use the high school bleachers, stadium, veterans or whoever just can line up in the bleachers, and we have, like Boy Scout troops or whoever, march by, like typical parade ground type of ceremony. I mean, it won't be the same as marching down the street, but however, like I said, I'm just kind of kicking ideas around on a way that we can have attendance without having, we'll say, the physical burden of these guys having to walk up and down and stuff like that.
John, I don't think the town has any portable bleachers like that. All the ones that they have are affixed at the high school, at the different fields and things like that.
All right. Okay.
I
Sean,
think
I'm
the
gonna
oh, sorry.
I was just going to suggest, I have down here an agenda of what when we meet with the Legion and VFW folks, of what we can talk about. And I have that parade down. So I suggest writing down those items and those ideas. And whenever we meet with them, which I'll get that scheduled in the next couple of weeks, depending on everybody's availability, then we can discuss it with them and give them different ideas. What I don't want is, I don't want them to think that the committee is taking this away from them.
I agree. Yeah.
So, and I know that's not where you're coming from. It's just the optics of it. So,
No,
And Stoney, the other thing, I'm sorry, Sean. The other thing too is that when you talk about meeting with them, it might be a better idea just to have you and Bob meet with them. If we all go, then that could be seen as overpowering them with people. So just a thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to go, but I think that's maybe too many.
That's true too. I think we'll play it by ear because I also want them to meet everybody. Like, and maybe it's just a Zoom call, like, hey, this is introductions, and then afterwards, y'all drop off and we move on with the agenda. I want them to. I've been trying to get your names out there, but I want them to put a face with the names. Jim, I know everybody knows you, but
No, it's just because I'm
most
old
new folks.
and I'm always in trouble. Yeah.
Justin, I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, I think that is a good idea for future planning. This year, it's probably a little late to start adjusting anything. They've been working on it now for a month. And they've got a pretty good handle on it right now where it is. So I think that's really that's a good idea for maybe for next year to start talking about. So I think Stoney's plan is gonna pan out really well. And any thoughts you might have, Sean, or anyone else, please make those available so that they can be communicated to the Legion. Because I don't foresee them minding any suggestions as long as that's what they are. Like they should be able to tell that they're just their suggestions on helping with the parade. They'll be, I think they'll be very receptive to that. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Sean.
God, I lost track of the dates. Maybe it was 2020 when they said because of COVID, we cannot have a parade. I did talk to some of the veterans from the post, and I
Okay.
said, well, they can't stop us from walking Memorial Day. If a bunch of guys just show up in uniform and we're walking down the street, they can't stop us. So that turned into a something expanded into, they took a head count, so to speak. All right, who will be there? And amongst themselves, they decided to say, okay, we'll have these guys go to the high school. These guys go to the center. These guys go wherever. And at the sound of noon, we did at the individual places in town, did a flag raising. So that's something that if you talk to them, ask them if they intend to do something on that idea again.
They're going around town to make sure they hit all the memorials and get all the like do an honor guard or a firing squad, I guess they call it, at the different memorials. Is that what you
Okay.
meant? Like
So
they do that.
That's something that they've always done. They
Yes.
get a bus and they shuttle people to all the different places, the cemeteries and such as that. Yes. So that's something.
Okay.
So are they intend
Oh
to
yeah,
do that still?
they're gonna get a bus to do that to make sure that they can, or they might not be doing the bus for that, but they're doing something in the early morning. They're gonna hit all the different memorials in town.
Right.
And they have it split up, I think. So there's going to be two groups of 3 weapons firing off at each memorial in honor of the fallen, and then they're going to meet back up at Norcross Park before the parade to kick that off around 11:30, and then by 12 they'll be on the Grafton Common, and hopefully the flyover will hit on time if it's not too cloudy.
Justin, just for the future, you may not want to refer to that as a firing squad.
Well, they called it a firing squad. I know. I guess honor guard, right?
There you
Is what
go.
it should be.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Question,
Lucas.
what day is the parade?
I believe it's on Memorial Day,
That would be May 30th.
31st or 30th. Okay.
If it's Monday, it's the 30th.
Yeah, I think it is. It's the Monday.
Lucas, are you okay if Justin passes on your email address to the VFW and
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome.
Because I know my son has Boy Scouts tomorrow. Going in there, I'll talk to one of the leaders about there being a Memorial Day parade, and so I guess basically just see if they're gonna walk in it.
Okay.
Yeah, it is May 30th.
Oh, Jim woke up.
Anything else about the parade?
No, that is it so far.
Moving on, our agenda kind of got out of whack, but we've talked about everything with the exception of Grafton News and the Facebook page. I don't know why I didn't think about this when I was thinking about the Blackstone Valley newspaper, but never posted anything on the Grafton Facebook page or with Grafton News or on Grafton CTV or the TV channel. So I think that's going to be the next step, is reaching out, having them run that letter, posting it on the Facebook page, the letter that Blackstone Valley Express posted, and they posted it again this month as well. So,
And I also saw it on the oh shit, what's the paper? Oh my God, it comes out quarterly. I just had it and it fell right out of my head.
Not the Community Advocate.
No,
No, the
no,
Grafton one, right? The Grafton one.
no.
No.
It's the
AARP newsletter.
no, no, but that's where I'm going as soon as we're done. Oh, what the hell is the other one? But you sent it there and they published it. I saw it.
yeah, so the Blackstone
job.
Valley Express.
Do it
is-
again.
the Blackstone Valley Express is who I sent it to, but they do several newspapers. So I think they ran it in all of theirs. And like I said, I got the latest issue, and it was in that one too. So they're I don't know, it might run there for the next year if they don't have any other veteran stuff. So, yeah, I was gonna, Bob, since Maureen reached out to us, I'm gonna shoot her an email and ask her to run it in the Grafton News. And then I assume I just talked to the clerk's office to get it on the Facebook page.
And you want to talk to Jen Paluzzi. There's a online the Grafton Common. She
Grafton
was a
Common.
former editor at a couple of papers, but now she runs the Grafton Common, and that's an online like news source.
Okay. Can you email me her email address or her name?
I will.
Thank you. All right. Is there anything else? Lucas, you have anything you want to bring up?
No. Oh,
Bob?
So as I sit and listen to all of the ideas about how we can support any efforts of the veterans on Memorial Day, and as we get closer to hopefully fulfilling our dream of pulling off the 4th of July parade, it's really important that we try to promote those efforts as much as possible. So I'm thinking that step one, if we had, excuse me, maybe if we did a program with Stony and just promoted the fact that this committee exists and what it actually hopes to achieve, and then perhaps bringing in Carmine and one of the guys from the VFW and basically make an on-camera plea for volunteers for Memorial Day, and then do the same thing as we get closer to hopefully pulling off the 4th of July. I think that there's always a lot of good ideas whenever 6 or 7 of us get together and just chat. But we have to figure out a way to promote ourselves at a higher level than just relying on the print of the social media. We really have to, if we produced a short video session and just said, hey, look, we're looking for volunteers and this is when we need them and this is what we need you to do, and then just promote the hell out of it, make sure that it gets daily play, then that'll put us in pretty good stead. So That's what I was thinking when you guys were all yakking.
Well, you know, the other thing that makes a lot of sense is when this Memorial Day thing goes down, is that we just touch base with different groups, whoever are there, be the Scouts or the VFW, the Legion, or anything like that, and find out who their contact person is and let them know face to face what is being planned for the 4th of July, because they'll all be there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I think with Lucas's contact, Boy Scouts, and the contact that I have, one of the Girl Scout leaders already contacted me, and my neighbor right behind me here in this image, he's in, one of his sons is in Boy Scouts. So I don't think we're going to have any problem reaching out to them and getting them involved from the get-go. I think they also were they were looking to be a little more appreciated than they were in the past. I guess there were a couple of times that they felt that they were, I'm not even sure how I want to word it, but let's just say that it wasn't a fun experience for them, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. So maybe going forward, it would be nice for them to know that we all exist and that we all want to help, not only get them to take part, but to show that we're not evil taskmasters.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be huge.
So I did
Because
have one
that's something that's scared away a lot of people, I think, from helping.
Lucas.
Is there going to be any like media, like photographers, news?
I'm being very cautious with how much I want to talk about the 4th of July parade on here because of how it's already kind of gone out and come down, and it's not a committee thing yet. I'm not saying it won't be, but what I will say is Grafton News has been very interested in a lot of stuff that's going on around town. So I would assume that if we let them know about anything going on, the Memorial Day parade, 4th of July parade, Veterans Day parade, anything that we do as well as a committee, I'm pretty sure that Grafton News will cover it.
Okay. I was just curious because I'll probably take pictures.
Perfect.
So I don't know if there's like a point of contact that I could like either meet so we can meet up and whatever, or like send whatever pictures I can take, I can send them. And if they like them, they can put them in the newspaper or whatever it is that they can use them for.
Okay. When I reach out to Maureen, I will, so I'm reaching out for the introductory letter for her. So I'll include everybody's email on that and CC all of y'all like I normally do. She's the one that runs the Grafton News, Lucas. So if you want to reach out to her on your own,
Yep.
And then you could talk it that way. Once again, I'm just trying to separate the committee from being involved in these parades as of right now, especially the Memorial Day one. I don't want word to get back to the VFW or Legion that we were trying to step on their turf, because we're not.
Okay.
We're trying to help, but that way
They're
yeah, just reach
understanding
out to
that.
her afterwards.
Stoney,
Sean?
they made it
Go
very
ahead.
clear. Sorry, I jump in here that they're like, all right, these guys are here. They want to help. Let's get them to help.
Yeah.
So they're very, very receptive to you guys now.
That's good. And the only reason why I'm being cautious right now is because I haven't met with them yet. Well, once I meet with them and we kind of get a working relationship, I'm sure it'll go better. But
Agreed.
so I just want to toe that line right now. Sean, I know you had your hand up for a little bit. So what do you got? Sorry.
Sorry, Sean.
I'm always thinking kind of like old school stuff, but two things. The electric sign that sits at that junction of 140 and 122. I believe it's DPW owns it. I don't know who changes the lettering or wording on it, but if and when these things come to pass, I mean, maybe we could suggest to whoever that, okay, you want volunteers for your different events, put something on that sign for a weekend or so. Also, when they do, for example, banners, Toys for Tots, collection sites, it's typically a banner that's maybe at the Grafton Credit Union at different intersections. I recently saw a couple of banners saying Grafton Fire Department looking for volunteers to join the fire department at, I saw one at Roney Park and one, I can't remember where the second one was, but anyhow, so I know that becomes a budgetary thing, you know, getting a banner printed and stuff, there's some cost to it, but we could find out if there are some locations where we could put a banner, you know, saying, hey, we're looking for help with in this on this day and whatever. And if we put it up to say, hey, we want help for Memorial Day, and then this 4th of July event comes to pass, then we just get a sticker and cover Memorial Day, put 4th of July on. So in addition to all the stuff Bob can do, you know, digitally and all that stuff. I'm not that savvy with the Facebook and things like that. So anyway, okay, that's it for now.
Bob, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I'll I'll try and track down what the proper protocol is for gaining access to the digital signage that the town has. So I'll take that on and figure out what we need to do. I'm thinking we probably would want to start a Veterans Advisory Committee Facebook page so that we can dip our toes in the water of social media. I'd really like to set one up so that it's not connected to our personal accounts. So I'll have to figure out how to do that. But once we get that going, we can then, on an almost daily basis, promote all of these things that we're talking about. You know, hey, you know, Boy Scouts, hey, Girl Scouts, hey, citizens, you know, hey, business owners, we need your help, and just, you know, keep the conversation going. But yeah, the digital signage would make a big difference too, because I mean, it's like everybody in town that has to drive by the damn thing, you know, like you said, Sean, they'll see it 2-3 times a day. So
Sean?
All right, so when you mentioned business owners, Bob, right away I'm thinking, for example, Gaudet Insurance has a digital sign that they post different things on. I believe the credit union might step up and do something like that. You know, as you hate to keep tapping going to the same well for funds and stuff like that, but I wouldn't feel bad asking them, hey, post a message for us, you know,
Yeah.
that type of thing.
yeah, you're talking about Homefield Credit Union, correct?
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah, see, I think if we approach Carl Moisen, I don't see any scenario where he would say no to us. I mean, he's a former Marine, so I'm pretty certain that if we went to people and asked for their assistance for borrowing digital signage as opposed to asking for money, I think I just can't see a scenario where somebody would say no.
Yeah.
And
Agree.
I think any success that we have going forward is going to be tied to our ability to promote the hell out of it so that people are aware of what's going on. I mean, guaranteed, if you put 100 people in a room, how many of them are going to know that there's a Veterans Advisory Committee? 3, you know, if that number. I think that's probably a generous number, but we not only have to promote things that we're involved in, but just the fact that we exist, period, and then work from there. You know, you got to put the foundation down before you build the house. So.
Anything else, Bob?
No, I think I'm talked out.
Well said.
Which part? The talked out part?
No, the part before that.
You have anything, Jim?
No, thanks.
Sean?
So going back to meeting with the Legion and the Post people, has that been set up or mentioned or?
No, I need to call them. It fell off my plate just with I had a bunch of stuff going on. So, but
Would
I've
you
got
want-
their phone numbers now. So I'm going to give them a call. So I've got quite a bit to call on. I still got to call about the Polish house because I heard that somebody might be interested in buying it, and we need to get the memorial moved if that's the case. So, yeah. Bob,
I just want to explain to Sean, Stony is really easily distracted. And when he picks me up, in the truck and says, let's go for a ride, and I start talking about airplanes, he gets even more distracted. So
Yeah.
that's what's going on.
I thought you were going to talk about the gym and how you always just see me watching TV instead of working out. No, so I do. I've got a couple of phone calls that I need to make tomorrow, and they're going to be one of them. And I'm going to have an agenda. I'll send it out to y'all beforehand and get your input on everything, and then I'll send it to them. And like I said, I think the first thing I'm going to do is, maybe Bob and I meet them in person, but then we Zoom y'all in just so, hi, this is the committee. Y'all can introduce yourselves. And then after that, y'all can drop off, maybe be like a 5-10 minute thing. Y'all can drop off, and then we can go through the actual agenda itself.
Can I ask Justin? I'm sorry.
That's okay. There's no reason why we can't invite them to the TV studio and use the conference room. I mean,
I know, I saw that conference room. It needs some use.
we might as well just get over the COVID fear and just bring them in. And I would imagine, it probably would be a hell of a lot easier to just have them come in face to face and just sit down and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I was going. Justin, would you meet with them? Are you Zooming or are you in face to face?
Wait, you talking to me?
Yes.
When we met with them, oh yeah, sorry, I guess I'm Justin, right? He's Tony. And we met face to face last time we met.
Yeah. See, I think that's the way to go, especially for an introduction. So to have Stoney, to have you and Bob go, and again, we don't want to overpower anyone.
Right.
And then we can, the rest of us, as time permits, we can blend in. But I think they're better off seeing the top two guys alone.
Yeah. I think
Sean,
that'd be
you
a
have
good
anything
idea.
else? Did you have anything else, Sean?
No,
I'm sorry. No, I'm good.
Lucas, any reattacks after that? I don't know if it jogged anything. No. All right. Justin? Justin, do you have anything else that you want to bring up?
He's putting the kids to bed.
Probably is.
Justin, are you muted yelling at those poor kids again?
All right. So I think we got a full agenda coming up, but as we move forward, I think we're starting to get our name out. I do know that a lot of people in my neighborhood have been coming up and they've been offering their assistance and volunteering for some of the stuff that they're hearing about. So I think there's some drive in the community to help out, which is good. We'll just have to see how it goes down. So Lucas, thank you for stepping up to volunteer to help out with Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. I do want to get a liaison for the VFW and the Legion. So in the future, when we have these things, they can just reach out directly and say, hey, this is what's going on. And we can be a part of their planning from the beginning instead of coming in late and trying to pull things together. Not that it's late. They're still really early and I appreciate that. But and then Bob, to your point on the social media, the Facebook, I think that is a good idea. I think depending on who all you want to reach, you also probably have to consider an Instagram account. I would like to maybe one day have a section of the website, the Town of Grafton website for us that list out different things that veterans can go and they can, here's the tax forms that I need to fill out. Here's this, here's that. But I think all of that will drive somebody that needs to be in charge of social media and the internet presence. So just let y'all know a couple of things that popped up in my head while we were all talking. But with that, looking at our next meeting, April 18th, how does that look for everybody? I'm beginning to think that the third Monday doesn't work because is that when everybody else has their meetings?
We have a cable meeting on the third Monday.
Okay, so,
If we're gonna do it on April 18th, you may want to ask if anyone is, because that's a state holiday. So I don't know if that bothers anyone, because I know I took our cable meeting and I moved it from the 18th to the 20th.
Doesn't have to be on a Monday night. It could be any holiday.
Oh, it's Easter.
I got T-ball coming up too. So Wednesday nights are not good for me, and every other night should be okay.
What
Wednesday
about
nights are no
Thursday
good.
nights?
Thursday nights are okay. Right now, I'm not sure what time T-ball start or will end. But I can get back to you.
Thursdays work for me.
okay,
The Thursday's okay, as long as it's not the fourth Thursday. I've got community preservation.
so if we were to say the 21st of April? That's the third Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't have our
Nebraska.
T-ball schedule yet, so I
Okay.
can't tell you. But
I'll go into the
we should
calendar.
find out this Saturday.
Okay,
right back.
let me know, and if I need to change it, we'll adjust appropriately. I kind of like Thursday because it gives me a little bit more if we run into a problem getting a Zoom thing scheduled. Actually, I'm sorry. How do y'all feel? Do y'all want to continue to use Zoom, or would you rather meet in person?
Makes no difference to me.
Yeah,
I know
mean,
this
it was.
specific date, I'll be in Nebraska. So,
Okay.
I can Zoom that, no problem. But if it's in person, I just wouldn't be there.
Well,
I
think what-
prefer Zoom,
ahead.
sorry, because Zoom allows me to come home.
I think what I might do going forward is maybe do in person and Zoom. And I don't know how the town will feel about that, but you know,
Yeah, we can do the hybrid style. That's not a problem.
I prefer to meet in person myself.
I figured, but you know, Justin, I don't want to hold you up any more than you have to. So,
I
Definitely
appreciate
give that
that.
option.
I'd like to be a part of this. So I'll make do as needed. But if we could Zoom, I would like that option if possible.
okay. And then Barbara, would we still be good to use the GCTV conference room? Okay. It's a really nice conference room. I was like, holy crap.
Well, the great thing
Brand new.
about it is that there's very little competition, so it's not like we have
Yeah.
to worry about getting bumped out of another room. So
Is there a
The only
camera
other
there?
things in there is Bob's coats, for
Yeah.
his coat drive.
Is there
So
a
the
camera in there
fourth-
that we could Zoom from?
we could use one of the town's OWL devices, which will get us into Zoom. So yeah, it's an extra piece of equipment, but it's not heavy lifting. We can make it work.
The,
Perfect. Okay.
the fourth Monday is no-go from now on, or it is, or what?
Well, what we were looking at was Thursday, so April 21st.
Okay, that was
That's very
okay. I
close.
just checked that on the calendar. So are we gonna do the third Thursday from now on? Is that it?
For right now, Justin has to get back with us on the T-ball schedule.
All right.
But just so everybody has a planning date, we'll say the third Thursday, April 21st. Justin, just let me know as soon as you know. You
I
can
just
send it
think
out to the
Justin's got a hell of a
VAC.
swing.
Yeah,
Will do.
right. And then expect the next one to be a hybrid. So if you want to show up to the GCTV conference room, we'll do it there, but I'll also have a Zoom line open. All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion to- Second.
Well, thank you all very much. Oh, do we, I can never remember.
Yeah, you should vote.
Roll call count? No, it's just a motion, right?
No, you're supposed to have, I mean, it's all pretty, there's only 6 of us. I think we're all in favor of adjourning, so. But yeah,
Any opposed?
Yeah, right. Any opposed? No. Okay. All right. Well, thank y'all very much and talk to y'all in April.
Have a good
thanks
night,
for your
everybody.
great work, Stoney.
Thank
And
you.
Bob.
Stony,
Thanks.
thank you.